you see, interest. I think we're making a conflict in these laws. We have just passed a law saying the venture raising capital is exempt from stamp duty. Now here, the committee again is coming. It says interest paid by a resident company in respect of a venture under the current law is exempt from tax. Now you are turning, in the other law you are exempting, here you are coming, you are saying now it should be what? Taxed. I think what I wanted, Madam Chair, to put Parliament to not understand that. That's clause 85, that's clause 9. You see, under the stamp duty, you are exempting the ventures, whatever which is being raised by a resident company here. Now you are coming to income tax. You are saying now it should be what? Taxed. Now, you don't do these things that way. The current law has exempted. You should continue with the exemption so that you attract capital in this country. And it is saying a non-resident person bringing money in this country, for lending a company in Uganda, not outside, it's contradictory.
It is
so,
true. It is true.
Clarify. From the explanation, shabby as they are, they said when you are bringing in, they are not taxing. But when you make a profit and you are going away, they can tax. Isn't that what they mean?
What we're saying here, what should be taxed is already catered for. That is,
there's already an exempt.
Dividends, loyalties, dividends, interest, and whatever. But this is where my say they're bringing 2% a charge. Are you seeing it? It's a 2%.
It's here.
Third schedule on the knee. That's number one. Madam Chair, the rest, yes, you have read a letter for us. We want to thank you for reading. But also, if the Auditor General is having no manpower, we should give him manpower to do the audit.
Actually, the Auditor General does not have vehicles, does not have enough manpower, and I am going to bring
no worry, bring,
budget
Madam.
in this house for this house to support Auditor General because they are part of our staff.
Yeah, that's okay. But Madam Chair, you remember that topic of Bujagali? We discussed that time at length, and it was a serious debate here. And the reason we gave 1 year was we discovered that already Bujagali, they were making money. I have failed even up to now, Madam Speaker, with due respect to you, I respect you so much, to understand a company making a profit. And now it's saying, if we decided to not allow them, because you are paying already them on their capital investment, they pick it and take it out. All the money they bring in loans, they pick and take it, it's exempt. Their capital, they pick it and take it. And we're coming and telling them that now, again, we're exempt. I've failed to understand it up to now. And that's why I'm waiting for the Auditor General's report.
We really need that report. We need that report for us to take a decision as this house.
Madam Chair, why we're raising this, and we need to tell the president that, you see, they are cheating us. And I think there are these guys who go to him and say, if you do it, power will go high. That's a lie. We want to demonstrate it to him that if we do it, we shall make money for this. There will not be power going up. These guys are just stealing us. That's why you remember, they discovered we were about to finish the loan. They went and renegotiated for us a loan. They again added us more costs so that it takes longer so that they stay around. Otherwise, these guys by now would have handed over this plant to us. This is very dangerous for this country. And Madam Speaker, I would plead with you, as much as you're thinking of this exemption.
I am not just thinking about it. It's not me thinking about it. It is a communication that I got, and it is also my responsibility now to whip my staff. And after this, I am going to whip Auditor General to ensure that we have a report to that effect.
In fact, whip even Musasizi. Musasizi must whip you as a professional accountant. Because this thing, you also understand it very clearly. Musasizi must whip you. You must help this country. And we put you in that office to help us. Huh?
Madam Chair.
No, I don't want information from me. I'm well informed. It's only
I am
Musasizi who
actually
can inform.
supporting you. Please,
okay. Now if you're supporting,
it is a positive one. Madam Chair, I want to agree with Honorable Nandala that both the Minister and the Office of Auditor General needs to be whipped. We need to give a time frame within which the Auditor General should report back to this House. The public is looking at us as we are playing games. Every year, we come up with an extension for 1 year, and the excuse is that tariffs will go high, without any proof of how high tariff will go. It is just subjective. They're not being objective. They're not even telling us from what rate to what rate. I think even the manner in which this is being introduced is not good for the country. So I agree with Honorable Nandala that both the Minister, Musasi here, needs to be seriously whipped so that next time we don't see such an ugly thing in this floor.
Honorable Musasi, we are going to whip you. And Auditor General.
Speaker, that's why God made you to be in that office.
To
work for people.
Right Honorable, another more information. Right Honorable Speaker, I was the Shadow Minister a few months ago. It seems the same reason I've seen in that letter as the very reason they gave last year. Even last year, they came here with an extension of 1 year. The other year we said, let's give them 1 year and conduct a parliamentary investigation. Me, Honorable...
We actually did a parliamentary investigation.
Yes, we did a parliamentary investigation. And Honorable Kateshi, myself, Honorable Nandala, and the Tayewa spent many months investigating Bujagali. We did not only establish that Bujagali could pay tax, corporate tax, profit tax, is that actually they were making money out of, and they ought to pay Uganda money. Now, you begged us, we give them 1 year. And I remember even personally begged, 1 year, accept 1 year, so that they can clear their house. They're coming back to say, we now beg you for another year. Those will be now 3 years. And before we know it, they would have achieved the 5 years they wanted. Right Honorable Speaker, I think right now, enough should be enough. Let tariffs go high. Even after all, we now have a lot of power on our grid. Let us now take leverage of the dams which we have built and refuse this extension of Bujagali. Because what is happening, Right Honorable Speaker, is becoming impunity. They take this parliament for granted. They don't respect the processes. Last minute, they sneak in a calendar. After all, this parliament will say, yes, let us refuse and see what will happen in this country. Otherwise, enough is enough.
Madam Speaker, I would have been persuaded by number one, if the audit report was ready, and number two, if the former Shadow Minister of Finance, my friend Honorable Chivumbi, wouldn't have said that let the power price go high. Madam,
you know the mistake the Katesh group made was to recommend that Auditor General should do a forensic. Huh? You can answer from this side.
Madam Chair.
Let the chair.
As is coming. Oh, okay.
Honorable Speaker, I think that Ssemujju will be fine. You have nowhere to speak from. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I think that government is putting this house in a box, and colleagues, we have to be very careful when we get excited and make statements like let the power tariff be high. It is something that may actually be against us. The minister had this report. I presented this report, it was adopted. He was given time. What we needed to hear from the ministry is how far they have gone with the audit. Because we are going to be pushed into a corner to say we reject, and then government will turn around and say your parliament is the one that has led to the tariff to rise. So, Right Honorable Speaker, we need a commitment from government. Tell us how far you have gone with the audit, so that it's not an endless, whatever, then we move forward.
Honorable, it is not government to do the audit. They do not audit themselves. The issue is how far has Parliament gone with the Auditor General. So unfortunately, I don't even see one commissioner here. I don't see.
Right Honorable Speaker, my point, what I'm saying, before we get excited to make a decision that
Madam Speaker, it is important that when you are dealing with a matter as complex as this one, you go back to where it started. The agreement we signed with Bujagali first was that we are going to buy all the power generated whether we use it or not. 2, the total price of Bujagali was meant to have been $500,000. It rose by more than 100%. You go back to that. That's why the electricity from that dam is at between 12 and 13 cents compared to the 2 cents from other dams. So you cannot blackmail Parliament that if they don't extend the exemption, that now there will be the reason why the tariffs have gone up. You go back to those who committed the original sin of signing those agreements, committing Uganda, and the president was involved 100% in it.
Kibalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable
Honorable members.
Information.
Let me first hear from Kibalia.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are debating this issue in the same way we debated last year. This House, Right Honorable Speaker, would maybe wish to know as to why the audit report is not out by now. And you were asking that none of the commissioners could be around. We have our chief whip here. Right Honorable, we would request that you give him a minute to call one of the commissioners so that by the time we continue with the debate, we are updated why isn't the audit report out.
Can we first go to other clauses as we leave that one? So that we are able to finish. Let me give whip. Not whip. L.O.P. I'm sorry for calling you whip.
Right Honorable Speaker, 2 things. It's important, as colleagues are saying, that we don't get blackmailed as Parliament. The tariffs are high already. People actually keep complaining of the high tariffs. So when we say, if this is not passed, the tariffs are going to go higher, people are saying, wait a minute, the tariffs are already high. It's a problem. So before we give another green light, Right Honorable Speaker, we need to insist and say, let that audit be done. If it is our fault that that audit has not been done, then let's check ourselves and fix that issue, because otherwise then we might make 2 mistakes. So that if we are giving it another green light, we know it makes sense, because as of now we are thinking, what are we giving a go ahead to? It's kind of similar to when we were discussing the Magola issue, money. To say we are extending money to them, but we have not done valuation. We don't know how much equity, how much stake we are going to have in this. So it's as if we are moving blindly. So I want to suggest that we do not move blindly. But the other issue quickly, Right Honorable Speaker, is regarding these waivers. In this very House, Right Honorable Speaker, we have tasked the Minister of Finance to table here a list of all the beneficiaries of tax waivers. Right Honorable Speaker, that list has never come. I do not know why. they keep holding on to that list. We have tasked the Minister of Finance severally to table here a list of all the beneficiaries of tax waivers. So as the minority report is actually asking specifically about those to benefit from this one.
The current list of the tax waivers, the current one, we didn't have any. The ones that were there were presented to the committee, and it swims. The committee is not comfortable with. Committee, what happened to the tax waivers?